For the past 10 years, KELI's provided a research-based, gold standard award-winning mentoring program for our new leaders across the state. We enlist veteran leaders, we train them, and then they go out and visit a certain number of times. We connect our new leaders with Kansas State Department of Education, and we connect them with each other across the state in a networking program that really helps those new leaders. Sometimes lost in the overall mission of KELI is the fact that we train our new mentors. So just because you're a veteran leader doesn't necessarily mean that you are a trained coach. And our goal, in addition to answering questions, is that we build the capacity of those new leaders so that when the mentor is no longer there to kind of hold hand, they're ready to lead. Through a remarkable partnership with the Kansas State Department of Education, United School Administrators, the Kansas School Superintendent Association, and Kansas Association of School Board, we have mentored about 300 new district leaders, 500 building level leaders, and 100 special education leaders across the state since our inception in 2010 and 11.
Kansas State University is the first operational land-grant university in the United States. And that land-grant mission really focuses on the good of the people. And so to the very core of who we are, serving Kansans is our utmost goal. So when the concept of KELI, the Kansas Educational Leadership Institute, began to form, it made sense that Kansas State University's College of Education was a provider of the services that we wanted to come out of KELI. And that made a lot of sense with the college's strength in research and with the expertise that our faculty could bring to the table. But it was conceptualized as something none of us could have done on our own. It really took everyone coming together to be able to make an organization as powerful as what KELI has been for a decade.
We work with school boards across the state of Kansas to ensure that they're having great leaders help them with their local challenges. KELI has been a great partner. As we go out and work with the school boards, they provide mentoring and support for the new superintendents in the state of Kansas, as well as the new building level leaders across the state. Our team at the Kansas Association of School Boards is committed to helping those local boards of education work through their challenges, work through their issues, and this next generation of leaders that KELI mentors is helping these local school boards address those challenges and those issues across the state of Kansas.
We've known for a long time how crucial those early years are for leaders in terms of both retention and their long-term results. There's a sizable body of research suggesting that high-quality induction and mentoring makes a difference in whether people stay and continue on as leaders, and also in whether they grow and develop to become effective leaders. Coming in from out of state, I had a good working understanding of what KELI does. What I didn't fully appreciate until I got here was, first, how effective KELI is at achieving its objectives, and second, the breadth and depth of influence that KELI has across the state, particularly in areas that aren't well served in many states, rural schools and communities. All too often, not just in leadership mentoring, but throughout education, we make the assumption that because someone is good at a job, they're necessarily going to be good at helping other people to do that job. And that often doesn't hold true. So KELI does a great job of providing professional learning and training for those mentors, which really helps them make the most of the skills and the vast experience that they bring to the table. I also came to appreciate how the influence extends beyond those mentoring years. There's a network across the state of KELI leaders, and they know each other, they communicate with and they support each other, and they collectively work to make K-12 education better in Kansas. In a rural state like Kansas, that kind of reach and that kind of ability to touch schools and districts in remote settings is even more important and even more valuable. And so the fact that KELI goes to those settings, places mentors in those places, is just invaluable to supporting rural education in a predominantly rural state.
KELI's mission story for me begins in 2007 with the Kansas Educational Leadership Commission that was charged to identify state policies needed to develop leadership for learning in Kansas in the 21st century. After 10 months of intensive exploration, the commission's 18 members, which included government elected officials, public education leaders, and business and private industry executives, presented their report to the state board. There were 14 recommendations that merged best practice with identified Kansas priorities. 3 of those 14 related directly to what became KELI's mission. While these recommendations were accepted by the board, there was no plan to put them in operation. So 3 years later, 6 key educational agencies and organizations came together to find a way to do that, to offer a quality leadership development program that could go beyond reading theory or sharing war stories. KSU offered the structure necessary thanks to leaders like Dean Debbie Mercer, Dean Mike Holland, and Education Leadership Chair David Thompson. KELI began operating its services. The KELI logo represents this power of collaboration. Bands of color, each representing one of those partners, encircle the KELI acronym. I believe KELI's ability to fulfill its mission today far exceeds expectations of that first 5-year plan. That's a tribute to the KELI staff who worked so hard to make that happen. Keynote speaker at the KELI grand opening ceremony was international education consultant Dean Fink. In his remarks, Dr. Fink predicted the vision for KELI would provide a roadmap for Kansas to lead the nation in leadership training, both in developing new school leaders and in supporting experienced executive leaders. KELI's accomplishments, including the size and makeup of this group today, are ample evidence that he certainly got that right.
I think the advantages of all the organizations working together is that seamless piece of helping people understand where we want them to be. And from our standpoint with USA Kansas, the Kansas Principals Association, the Kansas School Superintendents Association, what we're really looking to do is develop and grow those administrators into the best they can be. Because as we see retirements, we see that graduation of knowledge that leaves us so sadly. But we also know there's a great hope in our new administrators. But to just drop them out there and encourage them to do the best they can is not fair to them. It's not fair to our communities. It's not fair to our kids. And so helping them become the best they can be, giving them the chance to grow and develop the new opportunities, what we're really looking for. It's remarkable that you get organizations that are willing to work together to grow individuals into being the best they can be, which KELI has done to say, what can we do together? What can we do that's going to grow our state together? I really do think it's remarkable. And I think it's one of those things that set Kansas education apart from other states.
Because of the mission of KELI, it was such a wonderful, enjoyable experience. One of the things that we did was we expanded who was involved. Originally, KELI had superintendents only, then principals, and we expanded it to other building leaders, to assistant superintendents and special education directors. And because the program is of such value, we wanted to be able to negotiate some long-term financial commitments that would keep KELI as the indispensable kind of statewide kind of presence that it is. And I'm happy to say we were able to do that as well.
KELI plays such an important role in the development of first year, second year administration, superintendents, special ed directors, principals, because without that leadership role, it would be impossible to take and craft a new vision with new outcomes and try to change the trajectory of every student. Never before has it been more important to do this work. And as we have turnovers because of the baby boom, the role that KELI will play in the training of even greater number of new superintendents, principals, and special ed directors is critical to us achieving that vision. Kansas will lead the world in the success of each student. Congratulations on a great 10 years, and congratulations on really helping us achieve that vision in Kansas.